Yo, what's up guys, it's Topicx here, and I have a +7 Priory of the Sacred Flame commentary. This is the first one I'm doing of Season 2, so let's just get right into it. This first pull, you basically pull the 4 guys at the top of the stair, and then these 2 packs. You probably could go a little bit bigger if you're in a coordinated group, but this is a good, safe pug pull to do. You just send Lust all your CDs. I am playing Colossus Prot Warrior, for the record. And then once this patrol comes over, you just pull it in. It's timed pretty well if you have good damage. So yeah, this is the pull. And then I head over here to chain in the next one. Keep in mind the sharpshooter will sit out there shooting for like 5-10 seconds, and then it'll come in. As long as everyone is gathered in melee, it should jump to where you are. That DK gripped it in. That other sharpshooter, I think, jumps in a second. Okay, someone interrupted it. Yeah, my first impressions though so far, you guys, as we're finishing this pull, these dungeons are a lot better. You know, people are still learning the dungeons, making a lot of mistakes, but even with that, I think these dungeons are a lot better than the Season 1 pool. I made a post on X and YouTube talking about how much better they are. So this next pull, you're going to pull this 3-pack with the guard, Sullyman. And as you can see, I got knocked back here. I was trying to position myself properly. It's like my second time doing this dungeon. And you see where I'm positioned right now, up against that first step. I'm going to get knocked back again. And then I think the second time I figured it out. You basically have to be standing on the first step. You'll see me do it here. So there, you see how I'm standing on the first step now, and I don't go anywhere when he shield slams? This is where you want to be. You can't be on the ground, you can't be on the second or third step, you have to be standing on the first step. There's just this weird Z-axis thing that prevents you from getting knocked back, so... Quick little tech tip there. And yeah, I know this is only +7 guys, not a high key, but we did almost 2-chest this. It was a pretty smooth run, so that's why I wanted to show it, and I just wanted to get a commentary out there for you guys so you can see a little bit of Prot Warrior gameplay. So I could talk about a few things. So anyway, because we killed that mini-boss Sullyman on the left side, the other mini-boss that's stacked with the first boss is going to come running down this side. So you can see, whatever his name is, Shayna Mail. So how it works is whatever side you kill the first mini-boss down in the first area on is what side the next mini-boss runs down. So you just want to make sure that you're killing that first mini-boss on the side that you intend to pull the rest of the dungeon on. We went left in this run. But anyways, this is a good second pull if you are going this way. I've also seen groups wait for the mini-boss to run all the way down the stairs and you just stay in that first area. You could also do that. But yeah guys, I was just thinking like Workshop, Theater of Pain, and Motherload, like the 3 legacy dungeons, are so much better than the legacy dungeons last tier, such as Grimbatal, Siege of Borealis, Necrotic Wake. They're just so much better, and so I think for that reason alone this dungeon pool is a lot better. Darkflame Cleft seems pretty easy, the Rookery seems pretty easy. Priory I think may seem hard at first to people, but I think once they get the hang of it, they'll realize it's pretty... Really the only difficult dungeon, I think, is Floodgate. So, but anyways, this next pull is just the patrol. The patrol goes up and down this pathway. You want to pull it when it's safe and away from other mobs, so this is a good location to pull it. Next, we're going to skip this 3-pack to the right. It's just inefficient and kind of by itself. So, we're going to go down here and take this, and then I think I chain into the right side casters. Ultimately, I probably could have pulled this entire area together, but again, you know, it's my second time in here. I wanted to try and play it a little safe, so...
My power is transcendent. Share in it.
And we don't even have cooldowns either, so. Alright, so I'm going to do this and pull the rest. And, so one mistake I did make here, though, is I would go ahead and pull the mini-boss Anya when these casters get a little low. I think I finished the casters off entirely, and then we, like, soloed the mini-boss. I wouldn't recommend that. Like, right now, I could probably pull the mini-boss in, because these fireballs don't really do much. Because as you guys will see, this mini-boss is extremely easy. So it's kind of troll to pull it by itself, and it just takes a long time. It has a lot of health. So you'll see how long it takes to die here. It doesn't really do anything. It just sits here and casts Holy Smite. So yeah, this is a little troll to pull this by itself, as you can see. So don't do this. At least pull it with a 3-pack. At least pull it with those little guys so that you're getting a little bit more value for your time. So we're going to finish this off, and then when we turn around and go back up the stairs, obviously you want to hug the right so you don't pull that left pack again.
You won't peel off anymore. You must defeat Dale.
So now this other guy that's beside the first boss is going to run down here, and you want to pull him about where I am here, because if you tank him too close to the other mobs, someone could butt pull. There is some stuff to dodge here, and that's why, while they're trying to dodge the puddles on the ground, you could easily butt pull, so you want to kind of play him here, away from the other mobs. Yeah, this Ember Storm is what I'm talking about. You could easily see here how a pug could butt pull one of those other mobs, so I could have even played him even a little bit further back than this, so just be careful about that.
You won't peel off anymore.
I see their game. They seek to ambush me.
So we're gonna engage the first boss. I would recommend you just focus Captain Dalecry here. The reason why is because Captain Dalecry buffs the other guy, Elena Emberlands, the other mini boss that we left up. So there's no point in trying to kill Elena Emberlands because Captain Dalecry buffs the other mini boss's health pool. But the other mini boss will automatically die when Captain Dalecry dies, so that's why you just focus Dalecry. But yeah, so the mechanics on this boss. You have the Holy Radiance cast you can't do anything about here. That's just an AoE. The healer needs to heal through. I'm assuming on high keys, DPS and everybody will just want to press a defensive or maybe use a party defensive. Battle Cry needs to be kicked, otherwise the boss will be buffed. And
My power is
excuse the beeping, I had an alarm that went off during this key. Pierce Armor basically increases your damage taken because it pierces your armor, just like the ability says. So basically there's nothing you can do about that, it stacks, and it just keeps getting applied to you, which means like the longer this boss fight goes on, the more damage you're going to be taking. So, you know, eventually, if this boss fight lasts too long on higher keys, you're probably just going to end up falling over because you're going to have nothing left and you're going to be dry. Tanks that have good self-sustain will be especially good on this boss, like VDH. I think Blood DK would probably be pretty good on this boss too, just because the self-sustain, but this is probably one of the weaker bosses for Prot Warrior, just because you continue taking increased damage and you end up dry at the end, you can't heal yourself. And there's one more ability, Savage Mauling, you're going to see here in a few seconds. That's just, the boss jumps to a random DPS and starts mauling them. So you're just going to want to press a DR as a DPS, or potentially you could meld or invis this. yeah, we're gonna finish off Dale Cry. The mini boss is gonna fall over as well at the same time, and then we'll keep going.
Power of the blade. My spear aims true.
So as you can see, I'm getting pretty dry here. I have no health pots. I didn't have any defensives left until right now. I'm pinning victories on CD. So if this boss lived much longer, I was probably going to fall over. So, good single target though. You can see I'm doing like 1.2 mil single target sustained. Really impressed with Prot Warrior damage so far. A lot of people have been talking about how much damage it's doing. I think the question is, can we survive higher keys?
Dale Cry was on her
So I fell pretty low there from the bleed from the boss.
Priory force him to turn against
This next
Colossus.
pull, you're going to want your group to LOS. And you'll see why in a second. So I'm going to pull this. I'm going to aggro the other packs behind it and then pull it around here. Make sure you like AoE taunt or get a bunch of damage out right away to get all the aggro on these mobs. But as you can see here, we lusted as well. This is a good lust pull. You see all the consecrates on the ground? You like have to kite these mobs, and so you don't want to be fighting them inside because you're going to end up kiting into one of the other mobs and butt pulling them, and then it could make the pull difficult because there's a lot of casters. So we're going to chain these, I believe. So this priest sits here and casts, and then there's consecrates that they put on the ground as well. From the paladin, paladin's about to cast consecrate. And then there's also a divine toll. So this sacred toll, that's a group-wide damage. That's going to be difficult on high keys when these mobs cast sacred toll, which is probably why you don't want to pull them all together on high keys, and you're going to want to chain them instead. Because if multiple of those sacred tolls go out at the same time, it's probably going to be a wipe on high keys. But obviously on a low key we could chain it. It's not that big of a deal. It's not doing that much damage. So. But yeah, so just for this reason, you probably wouldn't want to pull multiple paladins because you'll have too many consecrates you'll have to kite from, and you'll have the sacred tolls going out, which is group-wide damage. And then you also have something to kick. So the name of the game is you just constantly chain, right? So we chained the first one, we're done this one, now we're chaining into the next one. Once these ones are low, we could probably chain into the next one again. Yeah, these are going to be dangerous mobs on high keys. So you could see one paladin cast a sacred toll, and then the other one started casting it right after. So that's 2 back to back. Imagine if you had 4 back to back. It'd be like 4 huge AoE group damage events occurring. On high keys, you're probably just gonna die. So, you know, maybe the good teams will find a way around that by cycling party defensives for all these sacred tolls. But I think chaining is just going to be the safest bet as the season goes on. So yeah, ranged DPS are great on this bull because they don't have to move out of the consecrates, and they can also kick these casters because sometimes they just sit there casting in the consecrate and you don't want your melee running in there. So you know, this is a good caster dungeon, I would say, for that reason. Some of the bosses are easier as ranged as well. So this next boss is going to come down. This next boss is just completely scripted. He just does the same thing over and over again. So do all the other bosses in this dungeon, though. They're all pretty scripted. So this Hammer of Purity cast, you're just going to want to kite the boss away. You can see the new Blizzard circle graphics, which is really nice. So before you'd kind of just have to guess where these hitboxes were on the hammers. Now you can actually see. So yeah, you just want to kite the boss away, cast that, kick that cast, that goes off. Probably a wipe on higher keys, not sure about lower keys, but yeah, so this boss is fairly easy on as a tank. You just kite away from the hammers, you kick this cast that's about to go off. Yeah, burning light. You want to kick that. So yeah, that's literally all that there is to it. This is probably the easiest boss in the dungeon, just because that first boss puts out a lot of damage. You'll see why the third boss is difficult at the end of this dungeon, but this boss is kind of a joke.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And now he does these huge circles you have to move out of, which, I mean, again, they don't really do anything, right? You just dodge them. So this boss is basically just dodging. You do see that circle though does have to be soaked though. It's not a difficult mechanic, but I could see on high keys how that could do a lot of damage. Those of you that have played Tazavesh Gambit, it's exactly like the last boss on Tazavesh Gambit, where you have to soak it like 3 times, and each time you soak it, it does damage. So on high keys, you're probably gonna have to press a defensive and then go in there and soak it, or you could have someone with an immunity soak all of them, like Turtle or Bubble. So. Once we finish this guy, we're going to run up the stairs. So we finish this guy off. The DK is gonna... There we go. So we're also gonna pull this pack out. And again, the reason for that is so that we have more space to kite. As you see, there's paladins in these packs. There's 2 of them, and they cast Consecrate, so you don't want to run out of room if you go into there kiting away from the Consecrates. Again, you know, it's not that big of a deal because we're on a lower key, but it just gives you a little bit more space to start off with if you start outside and then go in. Because as you see, this pack is melting. Everybody sent their CDs on this pack, it looks like. If you do start in this room and you run out of space, you can actually open the door behind you and just kite them up the stairs. You don't have to kill these packs to open this door. You can just open this door whenever. So you can also do that if you don't LOS out of the room. But yeah, another reason you LOS is just also you don't want the casters sitting back there casting. This is a great example. This is probably the most important mob to LOS, and you'll see why. You have all these casters, and then you have the paladins again. So can you imagine if those casters are sitting back there casting, the paladins are casting Consecrate, and you're trying to kite around and kick stuff, and there's all those other mobs, you're going to butt pull something, and it's just going to go sideways. So just pull these outside. And you actually don't need all the mobs in this room anyway for count, so you're just going to be over count if you end up accidentally pulling them. The mob density in this next room is very tight, so it's easy to pull extra stuff you don't want. Because yeah, we're actually going to ignore the pack on the left side for now. The patrol is kind of bad here, so I tried to pull this back. It didn't really work. Looks like someone stunned that mage, which I didn't want, because now we've aggroed the patrol. So I think on most high keys, this pull is probably not ideal. It's just going to be a lot of damage, a lot of things to kick. Those fireball volleys, if they go off, surely will wipe the group on a high key. But because we're on a low key, we pulled this off, but this wasn't my intention. You typically want to pull that patrol by itself because there's 5 of them and they're somewhat lethal. But yeah, we pulled this off just because it was a lower key. You can see why it's not the best melee season. You see how many things there are to move out of. I'm on the ground, you're just constantly kiting, LOSing stuff. Ranged kicks are super important because you have all these casters sitting back, and it's like that in a lot of dungeons too. There's just so many melee mechanics to move out of. You just lose a lot of uptime as melee. So now we're going to pull the 3-pack. Do not pull anything with this, okay? Don't ever do that. This mob is too dangerous. On a low key, again, you could probably get away with it, but on high key, you're going to be pulling this 3-pack by itself. Both the priests have something to kick. So you're going to need to cycle all your kicks on it. If a heal gets off, it's going to be really bad. And this mini boss is going to end up doing a decent amount of tank damage on high keys when you cast Blazing Strike on the tank. You can see I took like a 25% health chunk, but you're going to need defensive for every one of those on high keys, and so you're not going to want to have all these other mobs also white swinging you. Watch this. Okay, that one wasn't too bad. I had a good absorb shield up, but yeah, so I would just suggest doing that 3-pack by itself. And now you're going to always have to pull both of these mobs. Someone else pulls this one for me here. You could chain them, you could do them together. They're pretty easy. You're just gonna need someone to help kick those casters in, or if you're a tank, they can grip all of them or kick all of them. That's great. But yeah, this pack is extremely easy. You can just do all of them together. The reason you have to do all this no matter what is because if you don't and you engage the last boss will pull these packs by the stairs into it. You don't have to clear everything else in the room. That stuff at the back of the room will not pull, but these will absolutely pull with the boss if you don't kill them before you engage the boss. I do go back here and pull these though, just because we were short count. You could probably get a little bit more count outside, or you could get count in here. I'm not really sure which one's more efficient. I think inside's probably a little bit more efficient just because you're in a tight space anyway, and the pack density is pretty tight. Outside, I could see butt pulls happening, but I'm not really sure which one's better, to be honest with you. So we're just finishing this off, and then we're going to engage the last boss. As you can see, we were, 2.5 minutes left. We're about to engage boss. If we had a little bit more damage, or maybe 1 or 2 less deaths, if this is a little bit cleaner of a run, we could have 2-chested this, so pretty good. Our party member is thinking that these are going to pull with boss, but they won't. I think they used to pull with boss on PTR if you didn't clear the whole room, and then Blizzard fixed it where only the ones by the stairs pull. So, anyway, this boss has a cast that you have to kick. It'll probably do a ton of damage on high keys, so you're not going to miss a kick. Dodge that circle. Someone's going to get a beam. They're going to have to kite around. And then, as you guys saw, that blinding light that the boss does, you're going to want to turn away. So you turn away last second before the blinding light cast goes off, and then you don't really take much damage from it. So yeah, this boss is basically just dodging the circle, kiting away the beam if you get fixated, and turning away from the blinding light. And that's pretty much the entire first phase. So you can see here, I'm going to turn away last second. We don't really take any damage. And I don't think the rest of my group turned away. They probably don't know the mechanic, but yeah, you just look away for that. And you can see also why ranged is good on this fight, right? Because you could potentially be doing damage as you're kiting that beam. If you're melee, you kind of just have to take it out of the group and you lose all of your uptime DPS-wise. Yeah, don't take much damage from the tank here as a tank. Yeah, the reason I'm ping on the left side there is because at 50% the boss is going to phase and jump up, and you want everyone to run up the same side. Because as long as everyone runs up the same side, the ads should come this way. The only reason there's some ads going up the other side is I think the Warlock pet tried to go up the other side for a second. But if the entire team runs up one side, the ads should all come up one side, and it makes it easier to CC them and kill them. You can CC them, as you saw, I just shockwaved them. Whoever they're fixating has to kite them away. You will almost instantly die if you're not running away from these ads as a DPS. So yeah, you lust second phase of this boss because the second phase is harder because those ads are running up. I do believe the boss calls ads again at some point, but I think we kill this boss before she does that. But yeah, there's the blinding light you have to turn away from here. There's the beam that you have to kite at the back, and then there's circles on the floor to dodge. So it's basically phase 1 except the ads. And the pulsing damage added to this. Pulsing damage is going to be crazy on high keys, so it's going to kind of be a DPS race. But yeah, that's it. 45 seconds over 2 chest time. This was my 2k IO key. Got my tier token. So yeah, hopefully you guys like the commentary. Definitely going to have more of this to come. But yeah, I just wanted to at least get a video out there for you guys to see, talk about my initial thoughts this season, and show you guys some Prot Warrior gameplay. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.